Properties. Okay, can you guys hear me now? I'm watching the chat. I froze. No, you can't hear me? It looks like my mic is working now. I know there's a delay. Oh, yay, Floyd, you can hear me. Thank you so much. Sorry guys, that was freaking me out because it was like one of my whole monitors just froze and the none of the sound was working. I couldn't click anywhere. I have no idea what just happened. Oh my gosh. Okay. Cool. Awesome. I'm glad. I'm so glad. Hello, Edison. Thank you so much. Okay. Thank you guys for being patient with me while I figured that out. All right. So, before we get into today's training, I did want to invite you. Oh, geez, there's Norton. I did want to invite you to go to myvisionagency.com. You can check out all of the training program. I did want to kind of like walk you through this a little bit today, just because this is a brand new website that I just created to basically just for the training program. Okay. So if you want to learn about all the benefits that we offer, you can go there. Here's a little bit about me. We do have some free resources so you guys can see all of the guides that we create every month. I've actually added them here and basically the form of like a WooCommerce website. If you want to check out all the tools that we have in the program and how you could use them in your business, you can check that out here, how to increase your ROI. You see all of the tools here. And you can also, I have this quiz here. So if you're like not really sure if you have all the systems in place to turn your leads into sales, you can definitely check that out there. Okay. You can also see all of the courses that we have available here. There are definitely more than that. That's just what I've added there. We also do provide 30 days of social media content, so you can check that out. It's 30 infographics, captions, and hashtags, an ebook that you can brand as your own, 10 articles for your blog, some quotes, memes, and some videos and carousels and challenges. And you can see they're really, really beautiful. We also have 85,000 plus white label content for you to reuse, rebrand, or resell. Okay. We also have, of course, support. I'm a huge advocate for support. You all know, and I love that you support me. So I want to support you. So we do live training Monday through Friday, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Friday is our Q&A sessions that you can join me in the Zoom. We do have 24/7 support team and updated knowledge-based tutorials. So if the live training is not enough, there are super simple, really short tutorial videos to help you navigate the tools. We also have a private group chat that you can join. Okay. If you are interested in the plans, we did actually, I have created a new plan that I wanted to tell you all about. So if you are interested in joining the program, you can just be a Vision member. Okay. We do use the high level suite of tools. If you want to, if you are an experienced agency owner, you want to join high level and have the white label dashboard that you can brand as your own and all of those things, you will get a free membership inside of Team Vision, but you need to go to highlevel.visionmarketinganddesign.com, or you could go to bridgetbartlett.com. That's fine too. But what I've added here is actually a fast start bundle, okay? Because I do know that it is overwhelming when you first get started and you're like, I just need to start getting leads. So what we're going to do is you get all of the benefits for vision marketing and design, but we're going to do a done for you setup. Okay. So we're going to take an ebook within your niche and we're going to brand it with your colors, name, and logo. We're going to create a lead generating funnel that's branded to you. We're going to create your calendar to book appointments. You know, I'm always saying, especially if you want to be a virtual assistant, or even if you're a dentist, or if you are, some kind of a coach or affiliate marketer, the best way to get leads or sales for your business is with appointments. Okay. It's that breaking down the online barriers so that people get to know you. We're also going to create a sales pipeline for you and connect your domain. So you will have everything that you need to start using this funnel and the whole system to start getting leads. And we're also going to brand 30 days of social media content, so that will come with the hashtags and the captions, and we're going to brand all of that and add your name and logo. Okay, so if you want to sign up and check out the pricing, you can do that there. All right, so let's get into this. The first website I'm going to talk to you about is Upwork, and this is what we're going to do is gather information. Okay, and then what you can do with this information is you can go to Upwork and you can basically create, it's called a gig on Fiverr, but you can just basically place your or post your services that you are available for on Upwork. Okay, the next popular one would be freelancer.com. Same basic premise, right? You're just going to go there, you're going to say, hey, here's what I am willing to offer for this price. All right. Now, when it gets down to the nuts and bolts here, I like to use Fiverr because Fiverr is really the one that I use the most. I'm more familiar with it, and I like Fiverr. Okay, so what you want to do is you can go to Fiverr and you can search virtual assistant. Okay, you can do that. But what I really invite you to do is look around. If you've never been on Fiverr before, look around and see what are the things that you could do that you already know how to do that you could actually get paid for, right? That you could start building up some clients. The beautiful thing about this is once you, even if it's a low ticket offer that you're doing, like something really simple that only takes you a few minutes to do, what you're doing is building up a reputation, right? You have reviews on Fiverr. It kind of breaks down the barrier of especially with virtual assistants or freelancers or something like that. Because if you don't have any reviews and, the client is a little skeptical, they would rather go to Fiverr because Fiverr is the third party that ensures that you have a little bit of incentive to make sure that you're doing a good job. Okay. So I would rather pay Fiverr to handle this process for me with a freelancer than to just find someone on Facebook and then just hope they deliver what I was asking for. Because if they don't, there are really next to no consequences. And that is why talking about creating a sales funnel that is, it's your website, creating the social media graphics, branding yourself as a professional, okay? That is what's going to make you stand out. It's also going to help to build that trust, okay? And break down the barrier that Fiverr also does help to create, okay? So, or to eliminate. So definitely look through here. Maybe you're great at designing logos. You could totally provide that as a service. Okay. They even have like game art and illustration. Of course, there's social media, packaging and label design, all of these amazing things. Okay. Maybe writing, maybe you're great at writing. All of these things you can provide as a service as a VA, but you can also provide them as a specific service like a gig inside of Fiverr or Upwork or freelancer.com. Okay, so definitely check through there. Of course, digital marketing. One of the things that you guys could do if you're in the program, okay, or you have your own high-level account, you can offer these services, okay? Like, for example, web design, okay? I could offer web design here. Well, what happens when the website needs hosted? Now I'm signing them up to host it on my agency account, okay? Or maybe I want to do some type of lead generation or something like that. You're building that relationship so that you can provide other services, okay? It really only takes like one good transaction for someone to trust you so that you can retarget them, okay? There are different strategies also, even at the end of the transaction, offering like a bonus to give you a review. There's lots of different ways of fast tracking your Fiverr gigs and things like that. Okay. So definitely check that out there. Also programming and tech. So there's like WordPress and then mobile apps. And if you know how to do any of these things, what you should be doing is going through here and being like, okay, I do know how to build on a WordPress. Maybe you want to check this out. Okay, e-commerce. I know how to build an e-commerce website. So I want to keep a list of all these things that I find here that maybe I never even thought about. I could provide that, right? Maybe you're good at chatbots, or maybe you're familiar with blockchain and cryptocurrency. Also, like data entry. Okay, you can even do, like, maybe you don't have any of these like marketing skills or design skills or whatever, but maybe, I mean, most of us can just data entry, right? If you want to take a spreadsheet and then enter it into a system, that's data entry. It's literally copying and pasting. So I don't know a lot of people who couldn't copy and paste, but again, that's something that you could provide. Okay, it also gives you an idea when you're listing out on your website, here are my skills, right? You know what to call it, right? What are people looking for as far as hiring someone for services, okay? We have video and animation. A lot of us, like I know that Maria has been working on her course, and she's learning a lot of things like how to create a presentation, how to, do some video editing and things like that. If you are good at any of those things, you can do that. And there's lots of software like animated GIF. You could do that using Canva. We've talked about that a lot of times. Intros and outros. There's a lot of software that make that really simple to do. That, people who are hiring others to do this, they don't know that it's a simple software that you can use, and it really doesn't matter to them because they don't want to take the time to go research on all of that. That's why they're hiring you, right? So you are the one who has researched how to do intros and outros. You are the one who is familiar with the software, right? You are the one that they're hiring for your expertise. All right. And then of course you have music and audio. So if you have, like my husband, we talked about this on Friday. My husband has a really deep voice, like Barry White, he's like 200 pounds, but he's like, people come from all over the store, they hear him and they're like, who is that? Because he has like a really great deep voice. And so I'm on him all the time, like, you should be doing voiceovers. But maybe you do have a great voice too. And maybe you want to do podcast editing. Maybe you want to do, you're great at mixing and mastering and sound design. And maybe you have a great voice and you want to do like audiobooks, right? People will pay you to do these things. Jingles and outros. I mean, there's lots of people who are great with music, and you don't even know that people will pay you to use these skills, okay? We have business as well. This is where a virtual assistant is, but creating presentations, and because I've done trainings on this before, how you can use Canva to create really beautiful presentations. And if they give you the information, which, you could put that in your gig, then it's easy to create, right? Maybe that's something that you want to provide a service. Maybe you really enjoy that. And then also there's some trending topics here. So maybe you're interested in, NFT art, marketplaces, and so on. Okay. But let's actually just dive right into virtual assistant. All right, so if you look here at the virtual assistants, this is what you want to do when you're researching how you're going to put together your virtual assistant business, okay? Or how you're going to create your portfolio, your branded website for lead generation. Here's what you want to do, okay? So what we're going to do is look at all of the ones who come up first, okay? Because Fiverr is promoting them for whatever reason, right? They have a lot of reviews. Like this one here, what I want to do is I want to take the profiles that have the most reviews and the best reviews, okay? So right off the bat, this one, not so impressive, but this one here, there's 540 5-star reviews. That's really, really great, okay? So I want to look at this one first. And the things that I'm looking for is, one, the title, okay? Now, this is likely what people are searching for. It's loaded with keywords, okay? So maybe I want to keep a little cheat sheet, and you can do that here. So I'll just grab my little cheat sheet, and I'll say, okay, this was one thing, one title, okay? So I'm just going to like paste it here just to keep my notes. And then maybe I definitely want to look at packages, right? So for the basic package, and this is something on Fiverr too, if you noticed, when we look at the ad here, it says starting at $10. If you can make your basic package really cheap, then people are going to click on it to investigate the rest of your packages. Okay. But of course, if it's $10 and you live in the United States, that better be like a 10-minute job. Right. So you have to think about this. How long is this going to take me, and what is the price I can charge? So you want to base your packages on that. Maria says, still working on it, but great idea. Might need a VA or Mr. Barry. Well, you know where to hire VAs, Maria. And then I hope to, have like inside the team, I hope that if you guys are VAs, reach out to me and let me know, because I would love to help you get some business. I really only want to hire inside of our team. I don't want to hire outside of the team. So if you guys definitely, if you have any skills like this, let me know. Okay. Or if you create your Fiverr gig, that would be better. Create your Fiverr gig. And that way I can put you on my website, and then people can order from you, and then you can start building up your reviews and things like that. Okay. So if you do create a gig on Fiverr, definitely let me know. Share me the link to your profile, and I will help you promote it. We'll put it inside the program or on my website. Okay, so what we want to notice here is 2 hours of work. Okay, now again, if you're in the United States, it will be hard for you to compete with someone like from the Philippines because, our cost of living is so much higher. But again, it's something that you need to consider. What are you willing to do for the least amount of price, right? That's at least going to be your basic package that you're creating. So for this person right here, she's saying 2 hours of work, or he. So they will do data entry, data mining, web research, copy and paste for 2 hours as per your requirement. Okay. So this is something that I want to think about as a virtual assistant. What am I willing to do? How long would it take me? Okay, so this is what he's willing to do, or she, whoever this is. And then 1 day delivery. Again, this is something else you want to consider, because they do want to know how long is it going to take. Usually 1-2 day delivery you're going to get more clients that way, because usually when people decide to go to Fiverr, it's because they need it now. Okay, so that's something to consider as well. So maybe on your little cheat sheet, you need to say delivery times, just as a little note to remind you. Okay, this is just literally what I do. So 2 hours. Now let's look at the standard package. Okay, so we go from 2 hours of work for $10 to 10 hours of work for $50. Okay, now again, in the United States, that's a low amount of work, but think about if you are trying to build up your reputation, or you have some type of offer on the back end here that you may be able to offer them, if you're looking for, if you're comparing what this 10 hours of work for $50, what would it cost you if you were running Google ads to get a lead? Okay. So it's like, I'm always thinking of, okay, $50, that's 10 hours of work. That's a lot of work for me for $50. But if it's someone who is, if it's easy work, maybe I could outsource it, however you want to look at that, because you don't even necessarily have to do this. Okay. You don't have to actually be the one fulfilling the service. You just, again, it's kind of like an agency thing. What they're hiring you for is to provide this service for this price and this amount of time. They really don't care if it's you doing it, just like web design. Clients don't care if I am building the website. They're hiring me as the agency because they found me wherever, and they build the trust with me, and then they trust me to be able to hire and make sure that the right people are doing the right job. Okay, so that's what they are doing on Fiverr. Okay, you as the virtual assistant, they are hiring you to ensure that this job is done. Okay. So what they're doing here, 10 hours of work, I will do data entry, all of these things, same things basically, but 10 hours, okay? And then 20 hours of work for $100, and basically doing the same thing, 5 days delivery, unlimited revisions, okay? And then, contact seller, all right? So scrolling on down, that would be like the packages, and that's just one example, okay? So scrolling down, this is the next important thing that you need to consider, okay? So this is a very popular gig, okay, which means a lot of people are using it. So when you look at about the gig, okay, why, what are they saying here that is attracting so many people? Okay. So over 4 years of data entry. So again, they're packing this profile with keywords. Okay. Data entry, web research, data mining, copy paste. Okay. I want to share my precious time and knowledge with hardworking, positive people like you. I can't guarantee the outcome of any project, but I'm sure that I have these commitment, dedication, da 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 da. Okay, so let's grow and succeed together. And then my core competencies in this area and expertise include, and then all of these things. Okay, so you may, again, this may be something that you want to copy and paste, and you want to have in your little note section here to remind you these are the things that you may consider, putting in your gig. Okay. So now here, please contact me before placing a gig. This is really important on Fiverr as well, because it will affect your delivery rates and your reviews and the way that Fiverr views you. If let's say that I'm like, okay, I want data scraping, okay? And then I'm going to go ahead and place the premium bid, and I'm going to go ahead and continue, and I'm going to go through the whole payment. And then he contacts me and he's like, oh, whatever you want to data scrape. And then I figure out, oh, that's not really what I thought data scraping was. So now I'm like, oh, I don't need your service now. And then I go to cancel. That's really bad for you on Fiverr. Okay. That really, it counts against you. So you'll see on most of the gigs, please contact me before placing an order. Okay. The flip side of that is, if people are contacting you, you have to really make sure that you get back to them as soon as possible. And the reason is because just like when people are looking for services on Google, like a plumber, they're going to the first choice and then they're trying to contact them. If they don't get the answers right away, they're going to the next choice and then they're trying to contact them. So they're going to keep going down the list until they find someone who can answer them, and then they can, provide whatever they need. Okay. So Fiverr, the same exact way. If you're saying contact me before placing an order, then make sure that as soon as they contact you, you get back to them. And a great way of doing that is downloading the app, and then it'll notify you right on your phone, and then you can respond. Okay. Another cool thing about Fiverr is if you do go to contact the seller, it will tell you the local time. So if someone is in another country, like I am in the United States and I don't know where this person is from, but it says the local time, it's Tuesday at 1:27 a.m. Okay. That's really important for me to know, because if they don't get back to me, then I know, oh, that's why, because it's 1:30 in the morning there. He's probably sleeping, right? And then the average response time is important too, because I can likely expect an answer within 2 hours. Okay. So that's not too bad in reality. That's not too bad of a response time. But if it said, 30 minutes or it said 5 minutes, obviously as the customer, I would be, impressed by that. Okay. And it does say online as well. So that's just something interesting. Okay. So that is just the very first, the very first one that we're looking at. And again, when you do go to place your Fiverr gig, and then we'll talk about that on Thursday. But when you do place your Fiverr gig, you're just basically going to format it like, I will do this for this package, and then it makes it really simple. And Fiverr actually builds all of this out for you. So if you are just like, I don't have a website, I don't have anything, go to Fiverr, place a gig. Now you at least have a link to share, and you at least have like some type of, reviews. Even if you don't have reviews, at least you have some type of legitimacy that you do take your business seriously. Okay. So let's look at another one. This is another high review one here. So again, I will format, design, edit Microsoft MS Word document and PDF. So again, it is packed full of keywords. People must love this. That's why they're going to it, right? It does say it's Fiverr choice. I'm not quite sure what makes Fiverr choose what their choice is, but obviously that's a pro. Another thing I did want to point out is the images. Okay, so Fiverr allows you to upload a video highly, highly recommend uploading a video. If it's you, especially if you're in the United States, if a business owner is looking for someone in the United States that speaks English fluently, that's really important. Okay, because if you're creating, like, I've hired people to create social media content for me that English was not their first language, and what it ends up doing is costing me time, because I either have to send it back for revisions or I just change it myself, because just the wording won't be correct. It won't be like a good flowing, language. So again, it's just it all depends on, where you live and what you're looking for and things like that. Okay. So if you can create, super cool graphics or add a video, and then you can add, 3 images, I would pack it full of as many things as you can. I'm all about the video anyway. But they have 2 images here. So it just says, format, edit, and design, MS Word, and document. And then it has this image here. So honestly, I'm surprised that the images aren't better than what they are, to drive more traffic, or there's no video, but it just goes to show you can just have 2 basic images here and still get, 721 5-star reviews. So go figure. All right. So of course you have your reviews here. Looks like there's a disclaimer here offering a COVID-19 discount. Let's help each other in these difficult times. Please contact me before placing the order. So again, they're saying, please contact me. Okay. So, we have some more, text here. And of course, if you can use these like bullet points, and you can use like bold text and things like that to make it a little easier to read, no one wants to go to a gig. And especially when you're flipping through multiple, gigs looking for the right person, you don't want to read like a whole paragraph that's all clumped together. So if you can help them visually to pick out the important parts like this, it will definitely help in the buying decision. Okay, so here's all the things they're willing to do. Here's the, this is a good point. They do have a FAQ section. So we'll talk about this again when we're actually creating the gig later this week. But there is a FAQ section. And one of the important things that you need to do is add the FAQ, but you can actually go down to their FAQ, and you really want to make sure that if this is a good representation of the gig that you want to offer, you want to scroll down to the FAQ so that you can take the guidance from this person. Okay, they have a lot of questions here, and if you can provide the answer that the client is looking for, then it's going to, again, we always talk about your website or whatever you're doing to promote your business. They need to be able to get the answers they're looking for, because if they have to, contact you and wait for the answer, or they just, for whatever reason, they're like, oh, I'm just going to skip off to the other person because I don't know if they do this. This is a great way of like basically the last step. Like, hey, you've looked at all these things. If you still have questions, this is definitely something that I utilize a lot, okay? Because obviously they've added these questions here because people were asking constantly. And this is something that I do in web design as well in my own business. If I get the same question over and over again, I need to figure out a good way to represent the answer. Okay, so a good way of doing that is the FAQ if you can't build it into your content. Okay, so why is it so important to contact you before placing the order? And then he says that you can pretty much guarantee every question here in the FAQ is the answer to a question that he's gotten before. Okay. So to ensure you completely understand the requirements and recommendation, which is exactly what I was saying. Also, the basic gig is equal to $20. Does this mean all jobs have a cost of $20? So apparently someone asked him that, so he goes into detail there. My document is looking non-professional. I want to improve it. Can you redesign it? So he's answering that. So you definitely go through. Once you find a good representation of the gig that you want to post, definitely, and I would even take my little cheat sheet here, and then I would copy down all of these FAQs and make sure to, I mean, you don't have to like reword, everything specifically. Like if you're not doing, some of these things, obviously it's not relevant to you, but definitely keep that in mind that this could potentially be, if it relates to your business, this could potentially be a question that you would want to add to the FAQ. Okay. So if we go back down here, basically you just want to go through here, and I would say pick the top 3. And then, you want to look too, what does because look, if I'm looking for a virtual assistant, I'm likely, just like I just showed you, I'm going to start at the top. Okay, so I'm starting at the top. What's at the top here? Okay, here's a picture of this girl here. Here's an image with big bold text that says virtual assistant for, and then it tells me so specifically. So if I've come to this page looking for someone to do data mining, now I'm probably going to click on this because I know this person does data mining. Okay, fast delivery, unlimited revisions, accurate work, 4+ years of experience. So this is basically like an ad for your gig. Okay. Personally, I would say I'm not really a big fan of these colors, but however you want to. I think this looks more professional, but I love that she put an image here because, again, that's just a way for you to stand out, to make it more personal. You can see that a lot of the people do use images. Apparently, Leonardo DiCaprio is doing cold calling here for this person. So definitely, here's an image, but one thing that they all have in common is they have the image. They also have what they do. Okay. So they have put it here in very good, format. So you can scroll through here and decide which one you want. Now, another thing that you can do is social media. Okay. There's a lot of VAs who do social media management. And it's more than just creating content. It's like managing the Facebook group, like as an admin. A lot of social media managers also look for virtual assistants because if they don't have time, they might love content creation, but they constantly get clients who are asking, like, hey, I have this large Facebook group and I don't have time to manage it. That you could come here and hire a VA to manage the Facebook group. You don't have to be an expert in social media management or even have any skills in content creation to be a VA and manage the group. It's like, did this person answer the specific questions? Then you give them access to the group. Okay. Maybe they're using like group convert and, the information needs to go. So there's lots of things, maybe they need to monitor it a lot because they get a lot of spam. So that's what a VA would do. Maybe you want to provide those types of services here. And like I said, you don't need to be an expert in all things. Maybe you love content creation. Okay. There's lots of gigs here. Like, look at this one here. Okay. I will be your social media marketing manager. She has 5-star reviews, 408. So if you click here, you see how she has, first it's a catchy graphic. If you click here, social media man. She has like an explainer video, which is very professional. That's why I highly recommend video. It looks really good, especially she's promoting herself as a social media marketing manager. So she understands how important video is and it's entertaining and so on. And then she has, examples of different, packages of content that she's created. Also, if you look at her packages here, she's providing 15 days of management. Okay, so it's not just content creation. It's 15 days of management, 1 or 2 social media accounts. She's creating 10 posts and then also providing hashtags and captions. Now, you guys know if you go to viralitycontent.visionmarketinganddesign.com, that is my go-to resource for social media. Okay, so you could use that as a resource and come and create a Fiverr gig based on that resource. So you're really not even creating the content, but you could use that to create the content, use Content Studio to schedule it all out, Or you could even manually schedule it on their Facebook page, 1 or 2 social media, 10 posts, hashtags and captions. And what I would do is I would, if you purchase that package from Virality Content, you get a bunch more than just 10 posts, right? You get the captions and hashtags and everything else. I would over deliver with that package. I would give them the ebook. I would give them all of the videos and the articles and all these things, because what do you think is going to happen? They're going to be so impressed. They're going to leave you a great review, and they're likely going to subscribe for 3 months of service. Okay. So again, you over deliver, you massively impress, and then they will come back to you because they'll be impressed. Okay. So that is only, now look, Virality Content, the whole package is like $30. Now you can, for $30, you get all of the content created. They're paying you $245, and you're only doing 15 days of management, which really, I mean, how much is management, right? You get the notification if there's a content or a comment, you respond. But it's pretty much like done for you. Okay. So, for $30, you can do that and you will profit $210. Okay. Now the standard package is 30 days of management, 2 or 3 social media accounts, 20 posts, and then hashtags and captions. Okay. So again, over deliver. And we're talking about $400 a month here. Okay. Now, she has 408 reviews and 60 orders in the queue. Okay. So if your gig is impressive, now I wouldn't say with no reviews start out at this price, but think about what you could provide this exact package for using Virality Content and the amount of time. I mean, literally, you could take 10 posts, rebrand them, have them scheduled to 1 or 2 social media accounts. You could do all of that within an hour, and you could charge $100, which would be dramatically less than this price here, so that you could get more and more reviews. And then when you do get the reviews, and they're all great reviews, now you can up your price. Okay. And that's really how it's done on Fiverr. All right. The more reviews you have, the more you up your price, because people will be likely to pay that, considering, other people. It's just like Google, right? Even the lawn care business, once we had a bunch of Google reviews and our website looked great and people could communicate, it established us as a professional business. So people expect to pay more, and they're happy to pay more because they don't want to have to worry, is my lawn care company going to show up when my grass is a foot tall because we just got a week's worth of rain. People are willing to pay to not have to worry. Okay. So again, this person here, 30 days of management, 2 or 3 social media accounts, 20 posts, and then hashtags and captions. So again, it's costing you $30 for the whole content with 30, plus posts, and then $400. $400, you guys. So how much work are you willing to take, to get this many reviews and then be able to up your price here? Now, this person, 60 orders in the queue. If they are minimum, let's pull out the little calculator here. Okay. 60 orders in the queue, times, let's just say they're all the bare minimum. All right. That is $14,700. Okay. Now, how long? We're talking an hour that it takes to brand this content. Okay. So that is $14,700. And then of course, the time, right? So 60 hours of work for $14,700. That's very possible, you guys, because look, they're doing it. Okay. They may not even know that they have a resource like Virality Content, but that's an excellent way to make some good money with no skills, you guys. If you can edit, you can swap out a color on Canva, you can do this gig and you can make some serious income. Okay. So, and then the premium gig, okay, 30 days of management, 3 or 4 social media accounts, 40 posts, which you could easily do with Virality Content. Again, it comes with this, and you can choose whatever platforms. I would say to do like Google My Business, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. Those all are, you can use the same size that virality content gives you, so you won't have to resize. If you do throw in Twitter, you will have to change the size of the image and kind of restructure it. So I hate Twitter, so I never, I'm not even on Twitter. Just something to think about, right? $600, you guys, $600. And it would cost you $30 to do this. Okay. So massive, massive amounts of income that can be gained from that. Okay. So, this is really all I had for you guys today. I definitely, I want to invite you to go to myvisionagency.com, choose a plan that works for you. I'm going to show you tomorrow the whole sales funnel that we have available, that is actually for this Fast Start bundle, for virtual assistants. So you can have the whole beginning to end system with your calendar and your pipeline and all of those things, and really get a fast start to your virtual assistant business. Okay. It's all you need to do is literally list your skills and your whole system is done for you. Okay. So thank you all so much for joining me. I'm so sorry about the sound issue and all of that. It happens when you're live, it's inevitable. I love learning in public. So, all right. Thank you so much for joining me. I will see you all tomorrow. Same time, same place. Go make your vision a reality. Bye.